Hi there. In this video, I'm going to share something with you that really upset me yesterday. And I wanted to record a video yesterday, but every time I went to record it, I just started crying. So I'm Nikki Butler, also known as the Autistic Neurologist, and I was diagnosed autistic and ADHD in my mid-40s. And yesterday I was on Instagram, and I can't remember the name of the account, but there was a really lovely young man of about 16 years old that had taken to social media and was sharing how he felt about his stimming. So he self-regulated through visible stimming, often moving his feet or moving around, and had a cuddly toy as a comforter. And either the day before or a few days before, his mother had shared information about his stimming and how it helped regulate him. And what was really shocking was the number of comments around how he shouldn't do it because it was annoying and irritating to other people, and he should try and cover that up and stop those behaviours in public. And so this young man took to social media to try and educate people in the fact that he can't always choose whether to stim or not. Sometimes it is something that just happens because he's trying to self-regulate and remain calm, and he has his cuddly toy for comfort and self-soothing. And as I read the comments below, I was absolutely horrified and really upset to see a high number of people commenting and saying, you know, nobody has to accommodate you, the world owes you nothing, you expect to be judged if this is what you're going to do, it's a cruel world out there. And things like, well, it's really annoying to other people, so you shouldn't do it. Or you should expect that people are going to be irritated by you. What really struck me about that is this was a young man that is autistic, and I believe he's also ADHD, but he's certainly autistic, that was going out of his way to help other people, to help neurotypical people understand his experiences, to share what it's like to be autistic, to share what it's like to be somebody that has involuntary stimming and voluntary stimming and has soothing tools like a cuddly toy. And I couldn't believe that I was seeing other adults actually attack him. I have no time for keyboard warriors and trolls. I think it's despicable. But what really struck me about this, and I think what was really upsetting, not just for that young man's experience, was the underlying message of that. And I want to be really clear here, I'm not saying from all neurotypicals or all neurotypical people share the same view. Absolutely not the case. I know so many people that are really open to learning about autism, ADHD, neurodivergence, and understanding how we can build a better connection and a better a more inclusive society. So it's not about all neurotypicals, but what struck me about the comments was these neurotypical people that live in a world that is designed for them, so is easier for them to navigate and accommodate, are suggesting to somebody who is neurodivergent, that is already going to extreme extra efforts to exist in a world that doesn't accommodate them, that isn't designed for them. For somebody that struggles with different ways of processing, sensory overwhelm, emotional dysregulation, and is having to make that effort to navigate that world, the comments that these neurotypical people were making are saying, the underlying message that I have taken from this is that, okay, so this world isn't designed for you. We're going to disregard the fact that you have to make extra effort and use extra energy to just exist. But you should make yourself even more uncomfortable to make us feel more comfortable. Purely because the stimming, the movement, and the fact that this young man had a cuddly toy was annoying, or something that these neurotypical people couldn't process or understand. So their expectation was that this neurodivergent young man should make his life more difficult to make the neurotypical people more comfortable. My mind is absolutely blown at that. And making comments like, nobody owes you anything. Well, actually, what's really interesting about this is I've noticed that there are many neurodivergent people, including this young man, where we have to go out of our way to accommodate neurotypical people. In multiple scenarios, we have to put the extra effort and energy in to function in societies and environments that are not designed for us. We have to absorb all of the sensory battering and overwhelm, the emotional dysregulation, the struggles to try and work out what's expected and to interact in a way that's suitable for neurotypical people. And we go out of our way to make neurotypical people more comfortable and to work in ways that suit them. And we're going out of our way to open up these conversations, to be vulnerable and share what life has been like. And certainly, in my experience of over 40 years of masking, of camouflaging, of doing my very best to fit into this world, and the consequence has been, I live on my own, I haven't been married, I don't have children. My entire life is completely internal and protected just so I can function in the outside world in a way that allows me to work and to have what appears to be a normal life. But the internal consequences are huge. But we are going out of our way to share the experiences, to try and raise awareness, build more of a connection. But there is no understanding on the part of these neurotypical people that are making comments like they did on this young man's video to accommodate us, to say things like, we don't need to accommodate you, like nobody owes you anything. Surely, as human beings, we owe each other compassion, understanding, and kindness. Because you never know what somebody's going through at all, whether you're neurodivergent or neurotypical. Surely the world would be a better place if we just opened our hearts and our minds to appreciating that we all have differences, that we have struggles, that we have different ways of doing things and different needs. Surely the world would be a better place. Because these keyboard warriors that are commenting, we don't owe you anything, like expect to be judged if that's how you're going to behave. Well, they are, by those very comments, saying that we as neurodivergent people owe them comfort. We owe them by acting in a way that doesn't make them uncomfortable, and we have to suffer the discomfort. Like, I find that absolutely mind-blowing. And the thing is that neurodiversity isn't new. Neurodiversity is part of the human species. Every species has diversity because it has to, because the landscape changes, life changes. We need to evolve. We need to be able to adapt to our changing environments and circumstances. There were people around going back to caveman days that had different skill sets, different ways of doing things. You had the hunter-gatherers, you had the people that would be at protecting the tribe or looking after the family. Everybody had their skill set and their ways of seeing new threats, new dangers and responding. So diversity is key to any species. Neurodiversity is part of the human existence. So why should there be some split between a neurotypical and actually who decided what was typical? That's one of my biggest questions. But why should there be, neurotypical should be made to feel as easy as possible, and let's create the environment and a society designed for them. But if you're neurodivergent, well, I'm sorry, suck it up and just suffer to make everybody else feel more comfortable. That's what I took away from that. And like I said, it's not that I'm saying that this is behaviour of all neurotypicals, but that really struck a chord with me. This wasn't one or two comments in that vein, by the way. This was a number of comments. So I really wonder what your experiences are, whether you have, as a neurodivergent person, experienced something similar, like what your views are in terms of accommodations or support, or whether you feel forced to suffer even more discomfort and unhappiness just in order to make others feel more comfortable. Pop your comments below, reach out on socials, or drop me an email, hello@autisticgeologist.co.uk. Probably got a bee in my bonnet about this, but it really upset me. So I would really love to hear your thoughts on this. And I will see you very soon.